In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace your front window regulator on your Chevy Cruze. It's located behind your front door panel. We're going to take this panel off so we can access a couple of screws underneath. To do that, we're going to use our trim tool and pry it out from here and then move our way down. You may need a tiny screwdriver to start it. And then you can go in with a bigger trim tool. And you're going to pull that away and work your way down. And then you're going to pull it out. Now we're going to remove this little cover here. It's a little tricky. They don't give you any indent to slide your screwdriver in. So I'm going to use a very pokey pick. And we're going to go in this back corner on this side and pull it away. It will be a little tighter than that. I already loosened it up for you to make it easier to see. But just know you are going to have to put a lot of pressure there and then pull it away. Behind there is a bolt. Now I'm going to use an extension with a 7mm, and we're going to remove this bolt and these two bolts. You can use a magnet to remove the bolts. You're going to need a pretty strong magnet. Next, we're going to go for this bolt right here, using the same size with an extension. Remove the bolt. Now we're going to pull this panel out and unhook it from its fasteners underneath. I'm going to use a trim tool. I like to find an access point and try to get it under there. So wherever that's easiest for you, do that. And once you're underneath, you are going to have to brace yourself and pull the panel away like that. And then work your way through. There we go. Once you can pull the door panel away this far, you're going to go up and unhook it off the window. You may need a tool. Now we're going to unhook our door cable. To do that, you're going to push down on this white piece here and push it forward. And you may need a flathead screwdriver to pick up this end on this side. So you're going to push down on this, push it forward a little bit, unhook it from the black piece like that. And once you do that, you can pull it away, go this way, and then you can unhook it. So you're like this. And then you're going to pick it up and pull it out. So now I have the door panel off to the side. I haven't disconnected any of the electrical stuff. We're actually not going to. And we're just going to take this little grommet out of here so that we have more space. So we have more room, and we can put that on the ground. Let's remove this plastic piece. I'm just going to pull it. I'm going to start at the top, and I'm probably going to leave it connected at the bottom. I'm going to feed this cable through. And then we can just let that hang. We're going to lower our window down until we line up the push tabs on the regulator, which are those right there. I'm going to try to go down a tiny bit more. Right here and right here. You're going to use a punch and you're going to put it right in that hole And that you're going to push with this when you're ready. Now you're going to use your flathead screwdriver and you're going to slide it in, and there's a little square in here where you can get underneath the window and pull down on the screwdriver to push up on the window as you push this in. So you're going to push this in, and then pick the window up and out of that hole. That tab should be free. I'm going to leave my screwdriver there and do the same on the other side. The only difference is there isn't a screwdriver spot, so you're just going to push in with your punch in that hole on the other side, and then you're going to pull the window out the rest of the way. Make sure you have some tape ready or another person handy, so when you release the other side and you bring the window up, you're able to tape it to the top or have the other person hold it up. Now we're going to punch this tab out with the punch. Push it out. Leave your screwdriver in on the other side, and then you're going to push the window up and out. Like that. Your screwdriver will fall, and we're completely out of the regulator now. And we're going to pick up the window all the way and begin taping it up. If you don't want to tape it up and you don't have another person, you can just take the window out completely, which may end up being easier in the long run, but it's totally up to you. I'm going to take my window up and just take it right out. So now you're just going to remove the window, if that's easier for you. Now you can set this aside in a safe place. We're going to remove our connector from the motor. Just push it on this tab here and pull. Set that aside. And now we're going to use a 10mm socket. And now we're going to remove these 4 nuts. I'm going to start with my bottom one. Go to this top one. And now we're going to do the 2 on the other side. Take out your last bolt in the top corner. Using a 10mm, same size, and take out this bolt. At this point, you are going to want to hold on to your regulator and make sure it doesn't fall out on you. Remove that. And now we're going to remove our regulator. Push out on this side, and then we're going to take out the motor side. We're going to feed it through this hole here. It's pretty lightweight. And there we have it. Now let's put it in. I'm going to slide in this part first. Reach around and grab it. Pull it through. And now you can start getting this side in. Now we're going to get our studs through. Once you have all 4 going, you're going to get this first bolt started, and that's the one in the middle. And that's just going to basically anchor everything so it doesn't move. Let's snug this one up. And now we can get the rest of our nuts on. Let's get this nut started. Get that one going. I'm just pushing it in from the back. Let's snug them up and torque them down. We're going to torque these to 97 inch-pounds. Let's plug this in, line it up, push it on, make sure you hear that click, and it's secured. Now we're going to put our window in. You're going to come through the front of the door and place it in. If you did take your window out, that is. If you didn't, and you're just taped, then you're going to untape it. Once you get close, you're going to shimmy it down. Make sure you're in the track, the window track, because you don't want to put it in there without being in the track first. So I'm going to get this side in first. And then we're going to get this side in. And it should just place itself right where it belongs once you're in that track. So push it all the way this way inside the track, and then you're going to lower it down. So make sure both sides are lined up, and then you're going to slide it back into that hole in the window. So you're just going to let it fall in. It does take a little bit of force to get it past. And they'll both line up probably at the same time, and you're just going to drop it in and let it snap in. Make sure that your window is in the track correctly. You're going to go up, go all the way down, and it looks like we're working well, so I'm going to leave it right there. You can let it rest at the bottom there and continue putting it back together. Now we're going to put our vapor barrier back and put our cable through. Just line it up where it was. Now we're going to remove these 3 grommets down here. I don't know if you have these that came out as well, but you want to put these back in the door panel before putting the door panel on the door. So to do that, I'm just going to pull them out. And if you have any more, take those out. And if you need to repair any plastic clips at this point, now's a good time. There was a red one up here that Oz broke, so I'm going to replace that one. So now's a good time to do that. Let's put these where they belong, back in the door panel. You just slide them in and they lock in. You definitely don't want to try to put the door panel on with these stuck in the door. It won't work. Now we're going to put this back on. I'm going to line it up. Make sure we're ready to hook onto the window, but first we're going to put this in place. Push that back in. So now we're going to put our cable in. Just make sure that your lock rod is ready to go too, and just let it hang near the panel so you don't forget to put that in the hole. We're going to line up this ball into the door handle first. Make sure the cable's all the way down. And then we're going to stretch it out, pull it through, and clip it in. So basically the opposite of what you did to take it off. Do the reverse of how you took it off. Let it snap into place. Now we're going to put our lock rod in to the hole and get it started. And now we're going to hook the door panel onto where the window lip is. So make sure your door lock is up and it's through the hole. And now you're going to make sure this trim piece here, because it slides, is all the way this way, touching this with the door panel, nice and even. Otherwise it's going to mess you up. Once you get this side started, you're going to work your way down this trim piece is giving you trouble where the window is, I recommend putting a piece of temporary tape just to hold it in place, because mine kept sliding towards the mirror and it was messing me all up and I wasn't able to line everything up. So I just taped it to the door panel where it needs to be so it slides in nicely and there's no interference. Once you do that, you can remove your tape and push it in. Slide this down and push it in the rest of the way. And then we're going to push the door panel down all the way on the edge. Now we're going to put our bolts in. I'm going to start with this top one. And before tightening that down, we're going to make sure these line up too. Tighten this one. Put your cap on. You gotta hook it in on the bottom and then push it in on the top. Slide it in on that side and push it in all the way. Should snap into place.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.